You are your own worst enemy. You stand in your own way, but besides that, you directly ruin so much more for yourself than you know. This video will allow you to understand that and help you quit your bad habits. When I had a lot of mental issues back in the day, I would always say that I was my own worst enemy, but I would never do anything about it. I think a lot of people tend to think that they're their own worst enemies because they have these negative thought patterns, or they struggle with self-hatred, or overall because of mental health issues. And I used to be there, but the funny thing is, when I got out of that way of living, I realized that even people that are not mentally ill are also their own worst enemies. As much as someone who's depressed, they're just less aware of it. And that's because they're not listening to the right voice in their heads. That's why they live a mediocre life. Now, what voice am I talking about? I'm talking about how when you face a decision, you always have two voices. One good voice and one bad voice. And the crazy thing is, everything is about decisions. How you live, how you eat, how you spend your time, it's all decisions. When you hear the word decision, you think big decisions. But if you scale it down, everything comes down to this. You have a craving and you want to have fast food, so you have to make a decision about if you should order fast food or if you should cook something. Or you're running and you're so tired you want to collapse, so you have to make the decision, should you keep going? Later in the video, I'll also give you a fantastic trick to start making the right decisions. A trick to beat cravings, so make sure you don't miss that. So basically, everything is about decisions, and these two voices are a part of every decision. Should you order fast food or not? Should you keep running or not? Should you be strong or be weak? And what I've come to notice is that if you slip in terms of habits and you fall into the rabbit hole of bad habits, you get so good at pushing the good voice away, so you don't even have to argue with it anymore. And that's when you're in a really bad place, and you're unfortunately going somewhere worse. If you still don't understand what I mean with these two voices, think about the last time you had a craving. You wanted to eat some candy, you were offered some, it was very tempting, and you think for 1 second. It's like there's a side of you that knows you shouldn't do it, and then there's a side of you that's just spamming you with excuses, doing everything in its power to take over. It's telling you everything at the same time. You deserve candy, you went for a run this morning, you can have a cheat day today. Of course you should have some, it would be rude to say no. It's your favorite candy, you have to take the opportunity, and this side wins very easily. Whatever the situation, whatever the decision. And you don't want to hear this, but that's weakness. Every time you let that side win, you're being weak. That's what weakness is, letting that side win in these everyday decisions. And on the contrary, letting that good side, that good voice win, is what makes you strong, resisting that weak voice. And you're your own worst enemy because you push away that good voice. And you've done it for so long that you barely have to do it anymore. You're so used to it. You just ignore what you know you should do because you've gotten used to listening to the wrong voice. And this is relevant however new you are when it comes to self-improvement. Because even those who have done this for years face these decisions multiple times a day. And we also fail. I fail. I've made a lot of progress because I've practiced this, but I also let the bad voice win. So how do you start winning? How do you bring back the good voice? You have to be aware next time you reach one of these decisions. If you should grab a soda or a beer for dinner or just have some water. When you're deciding this, that's when you catch yourself. Because when you catch yourself in these decisions, that's how you engage the good voice. You recognize that you're currently in the middle of making one of these decisions. And even if you would fail this one decision, it's still a huge step up from before. Because that good voice is now being engaged instead of dormant. That's step one. Now you have to start winning the decisions as well. And here's that tip I was going to give you. A huge tip for winning these decisions is to view them as a challenge. You do this by acknowledging the fact that every time you win one of these decisions, you grow a little bit stronger. It's like a video game. You level up every time you win one of these decisions. So going into your day, be excited to face these cravings, because every time you beat one, you actually gain a little bit of mental strength, a bit of resilience to cravings. So that's what I got for you today, brother. I hope you gained something from this video, and I truly hope you start catching yourself when you're making these decisions so you can start winning them. So have a good one and earn your sleep. And by the way, subscribe to my channel. It really helps me out. Please and thank you.